People move to where there's a chance of living a better life for themselves, for their children, for their children's children. The availability of housing is fundamental to that. There's a manifestation, a demonstration of the need for a massive amount of new housing in anticipation of 1 million new New Yorkers within the next 2 decades. New York City, first of all, is a city of neighborhoods, and neighborhoods have different characteristics in terms of their feeling, the different characteristics in terms of the people who characterize, who form, who inhabit a neighborhood, and have done so in many instances for generations, not just they themselves moving to a neighborhood because of its prior character. That anyone who lives in any neighborhood tends to grow attached to it. You get used to the way something is and its attractions. When you leave neighborhoods, perhaps, you feel nostalgic for the way that they've been. That doesn't mean that cities shouldn't change. New York is built out. Manhattan certainly is way built out, with the tall buildings characterizing through its skyline the fact that density has been the driving force of the central part of New York City. Now, the buildings that architects build are reflecting a changing demographic, a changing level of expectation, and it might be that the patterns of housing development just don't have the space or the ability to add housing for people who are similar to the people who already live there. The idea of an ethnic enclave as a ghetto or as a separated or segregated area where a neighborhood's characteristic is primarily a function of a particular strong ethnic group, I think is not going to be in the future as important as it was in the past. That culture has changed. I think Obama's election, for one thing, symbolizes that the barriers are down. The prejudices are dissipating, and maybe not everybody instantaneously, but the symbolism of what New York has represented historically, I think, has become fact. They're going to live in a city that will be as similar to the city that we're looking at out the window, or that we're looking at even in these wonderful renderings and models, but the streets will be redefined by the needs of a new generation, and the city can't get locked into the past.